It's time to rejoice. I've decided to return with yet another high quality, amazing video when I honestly didn't have to. I mean, even a blind man can see at this point. I've been putting out nothing but back-to-back bangers lately. Manga you should read. Top 10 best video games. Now I'm coming with some more heat, some more greatness with my list of the top 10 best anime that I've watched. This list is 100% objective, by the way. Let's just make that clear. Let's get this out of the way. It's objective. What do I look like? One of these other clowns that come on YouTube and make top 10 lists saying corny stuff like, just keep in mind, guys, this is just my opinion, guys. Don't bring any hate. You don't have to agree. Let's all just get along and let's just all spread our love for anime. No. Are you serious? Whatever I say goes. I'm the king of anime for a reason. This is not an opinionated video. These are some of the best anime ever created. And if you disagree, you're just a loser with bad taste. It's that simple. This list is going to once again confirm something that should have been confirmed long ago, something that should be obvious. I have amazing taste in anime, and the best part is I genuinely love all of the shows on this list. I'm not one of you frauds who put a bunch of critically acclaimed anime on your list, anime that everybody likes, anime that everyone's going to agree with, just to make it seem like you're smart, like you have great taste, just to get some type of internet respect. Imagine me, someone as great as me, trying to impress a bunch of smelly weebs on the internet. My taste is already great. I don't have to prove anything. I'm already a highly intellectual being. I possess true intelligence. So yeah, I'm not one of you frauds. So yeah, with that being said, I'm also only going to be briefly explaining why I like each anime. I'm not going to be giving a summary of the plot or anything like that because quite frankly, I don't feel like it. What do I look like, Wikipedia? If you want to learn more about a certain series, you can always look it up for yourselves. With that being said, let's get right into this list. Alright, so let's kick this list off with Ergo Proxy. I love Ergo Proxy mainly due to the dark and mysterious nature that the anime provides. This anime just feels grim, like you're in some long abandoned world, and it leaves you with this very eerie feeling. I love the tone that this anime sets, and it's accompanied by some great visuals that add to the overall experience. The characters are also very interesting, a group of characters with some great depth, all trying to find the meaning to life as well as find themselves in the process. This anime just does it for me. The story is very complex and requires your full attention because there are so many little details sprinkled throughout the episode. Like going back and watching this anime, I'm like, damn, I missed this, I missed that. There's just so many things that require your full attention, like you got to pay attention to, otherwise you're going to miss them, and I love that about the anime. With that being said though, I feel like the story is definitely the weakest part of this anime. It starts off very, and I mean very good, then it kind of just takes a nosedive. Like it gets really confusing and inconsistent at times. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a genuinely good story here. It just requires a bit of patience because some of the episodes had me like, but all in all, I still think this is one of the best anime I've ever watched, if not for anything else, the atmosphere and the characters alone. Next up, we have Hibernate Remain. This is a really character-driven story, which I love. The characters are very important to me within the story, and this show has some great ones. You're introduced to so many different characters that all have their own unique personalities that make you want to learn more about them. And this anime also has a good sense of mystery. The setting is awesome. It's like once you're introduced to this world, it's just something about it that draws you in, and you're given subtle clues as to what's going on, and each episode slowly reveals more and more information. And while, by the end there was still a lot of unanswered questions and stuff like that, I still liked what I got. I genuinely cared about the story here. I cared about what happened to the characters. One character in particular was definitely a great character. She was able to make one of my favorite characters of all time, or she was able to become one of my favorite characters of all time. The pacing was good here too. It never felt too slow or too fast paced. It was just a perfectly balanced show when it came to pacing. But yeah, it's been a while since I watched this one, and I still think about it often, so that just proves it left quite the impression on me. Next anime is Welcome to the NHK. This is one of the most depressing yet oddly enjoyable anime I've ever watched because it blends like real world issues and dark subject matter and then comedy at the same time. Even though it's dark comedy, it's just a mesh of different ideas and different things, and it's a unique experience to say the least. Seeing this recluse scared of the outside world slowly come out of his shell, meet new people, go through different experiences that ultimately help him grow as a person is amazing. It's pretty inspiring too. It's like no matter how bad things may seem, there's still hope. It's done in a way that just felt authentic to me, and I love seeing his journey. It was really an unforgettable one. Next up is Phantom Requiem for the Phantom. So this anime does an amazing job at showing you just how easily normal people can turn into ruthless killers depending on the circumstances. And what I love is it doesn't try to make you feel sorry for the characters like in other anime, like, oh yeah, they're killers, but it's not their fault and blah, blah, blah. I hate seeing that. The story is solid. The characters are great, and this is hands down without a doubt the best assassin anime I've ever watched. There's no other assassin anime touching this one, and if you think there is, then you're just wrong. It's that simple. Next up is Neon Genesis Evangelion. The main appeal for me when it comes to Evangelion is the dark and depressing nature of the show. I love dark and depressing shit, and not many, if any, do it better than this. The story is great, no doubt about it, but where this anime truly shines for me and what makes it one of my favorites and one that I deem to be the best are its characters. Seeing these complex characters with so many layers to them deal with trying to save the world while also dealing with their own internal conflict is amazing. These are some seriously broken characters. It makes for a very enjoyable watch to me. Easily some of the best written characters in anime. Fact, this is not an opinion. If you don't like this anime, if you don't agree with anything I'm saying here, you're just not a real anime fan. Sorry, go find another medium immediately because you're just doing nothing but embarrassing yourself. Next up, we have Monster. This is the perfect game of cat and mouse. So much better than that Death Note garbage. Death Note is pretty much Monster for toddlers. Like, imagine thinking Death Note is actually good. Big yikes. That's a big yikes. That's a no for me. That could never be me. But the story in this is just incredible. You know, it jumps all over the place, future, past, present, but still pieces everything together perfectly. The characters are interesting, having one of the best antagonists in anime. This is just a mystery thriller that can keep you on the edge of your seat and keep you wanting more. And I just love when anime do the manga justice. I can honestly say that I prefer the anime over the manga when it comes to Monster, and that is very rare for me since the manga is always factually better than the anime. But the voice acting here, the music, it all enhances the experience here and makes it even better. Amazing series. Next is Parasite the Maxim. No matter how many times I watch Parasite, I'm just impressed on how good of an anime this actually is. You know, it executes everything it sets out to do perfectly. It never stumbles. It keeps a tight, cohesive narrative throughout, from the great story full of interesting themes to the absolutely amazing character development for both of the main characters. I mean, God, the character development in this is incredible. It's second to none. I mean, goddamn. And then you have a beautiful soundtrack. You have great animation. This anime has everything to look for when it comes to a quality anime. How could you not like this anime? This is what I'm saying. Like, I can't take some of you people seriously. There's just certain anime that if you don't like them, you're not an anime fan and you're just not someone that needs to be occupying space here. Parasite is just easily one of the best. Next up, we have Berserk 1997. You know, even after all this time, it's crazy. This is still the best adaptation of Berserk. Those movies and that 2016 abomination are not worth mentioning at all. This is the realness right here. And I don't know how people actually think those Berserk movies are good. I guess it just proves horrible taste is definitely alive and well. But yes, this anime has a dark and gritty story full of blood, gore, with some extremely well-written characters, an amazing art style, and a great soundtrack. The manga is still definitely the ultimate experience. If you want to get into Berserk, read the manga, but if you just happen to be an anime only watcher, which is pathetic. I mean, imagine only watching anime and not reading manga. Oh boy, you couldn't pay me to be that stupid. But yeah, if that's you, then just watch this. This is definitely the Berserk that you need to watch. It adapts the best part of the story and ultimately is something everybody needs to see. I wanted to put at least one anime movie on this list, and Princess Mononoke is hands down the best anime movie I've ever watched personally. You know, it's just a beautiful depiction of man versus nature, able to combine realism with fantasy in a way that's honestly just impressive to me. And the thing I love the most is no one in this anime truly feels like a villain. You know, each side is just doing what they think is right, regardless of whether or not it is. You know, the story is amazing, full of great tension and suspense. The characters are interesting. I mean, the art, the animation, and the soundtrack, they're all beautiful. And this anime movie is just one that I'll always come back to. And if I had to choose one anime movie to watch, I would choose this one every time. There's just no other anime movie touching this to me. And lastly, we have Hunter x Hunter 2011. You know, it's crazy how popular this anime has become over the years. I remember when it first came out, it was like no one cared. Then they put it on Netflix, and now all these casuals want to run around acting like it's the best, which it is. But it's just crazy to see such a group of bandwagon frauds. You know, I've liked Hunter x Hunter since the early 2000s. It was my first manga, and I watched the 1999 anime first. I didn't start with the 2011 version like these clowns, proving once again how truly great I am. Real Hunter x Hunter fan. But yeah, the story is a fun adventure that starts off simple but gets deeper and more complex as time goes on. And I laugh at these clowns that try to write Hunter x Hunter off of some basic shonen because they're not smart enough to understand the complexity of the series. Like, make no mistake, Hunter x Hunter shits on a lot of seinen series when it comes to plot and characters. And speaking of characters, they are incredible. I can't remember the last time a series had so many well-written characters, so many characters that I like. You can't name a shonen with better characters. You just can't do it. The fights are great, involving strategy. The power system is creative and unique. The animation and OST is fire. This is easily the greatest shonen ever created. One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, etc. all suck and are complete garbage compared to Hunter x Hunter, and that is a fact, not an opinion. So there you have, these are the top 10 best anime I've ever watched. This list has been the same for years. It just goes to show how dead anime truly is. I miss the old days of quality anime for real anime fans such as myself. Now it's just a bunch of garbage hyped up by a bunch of idiots with bad taste that have no idea what they're doing. I realized long ago that manga is vastly superior, so that's why I mostly read manga now and don't even waste my time with anime. I mean, imagine liking anime more than manga. Imagine not reading manga and just watching anime. Oh boy, that could never be me.